Thank you everyone for joining the Food and Beverage Pitch Lounge, Menati edition. We are just allowing in a few more people. We'll about to start in a minute or two.
Okay.
And it'll be co-hosted by my colleague Sasha Dutta, who's in with us now live. So we're just starting in 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure that Crystal Anderson has co-hosting, please. Havan. We are now ready to begin. We have all the panelists in place and the presenters for tonight, and we are now ready to begin. So whenever you're ready, Sasha, we can begin.
Great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Foodpreneurs Collective Pitch Lounge. This is a chance for you to get pitch ready and present in an informal setting and get some helpful feedback from a panel of experts. So this is an event co-produced by myself of Foodpreneurs Collective and Food Hack Dubai, as well as Miraj Ahmed from Pitch Lounge, and obviously Jamal Maxi, who you've all met already. A little bit about myself. I've got over 15 years corporate marketing experience working in brand management and NPD for companies like PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, and AB World Foods. I now specialize in marketing strategy and event management as a freelance consultant, offering consulting and business mentoring to food and beverage businesses and co-hosting events like this to support the startup community. I was the lead ambassador for Food Hack London, a community of nearly 1,300 food and drink entrepreneurs, but I relocated to Dubai in 2023, and now I'm the lead ambassador for Food Hack Dubai. I'm also a global ambassador for Food Hack Forward Fooding and a mentor on the UK government's Help to Grow management course for startups. On a more local level, I'm an ambassador for the Free From Foods Dubai Expo, and I regularly co-produce food and beverage networking events in Dubai. And then I've set up earlier this year the Foodpreneurs Collective UAE WhatsApp community. I've now got over 500 members. So if anyone else wants to join, either based here in the UAE or already exporting or planning to export to this region, then please get in touch. I think some links will be shared actually in the chat. Over to Jamal. So Jamal Maxi moved from London to Berlin 7 years ago to teach and work in marketing, events, and partnerships in the education and hospitality sectors. He founded and continues to lead his company Pitch Lounge, a startup investor event community with 90% of the activity focused on the food and beverage sector, which provides exposure, support, and valuable connections for early to mature startups via networking, panel, and pitch events. Almost a year ago, he studied in a VC program at the London Business School, strengthening his ability to coach startups on investor readiness, outreach campaigns, and investor pitching. Currently, he's a startup mentor and pitch coach and judge for various incubators, associations, and event organizers. He lives between Germany, India, and the UK, and is open to new hybrid, remote, and transnational bridging work, as well as collaborations between Pitch Lounge and other companies supporting and serving founders, particularly food and beverage and female founders. And I think we're showing all the links in the chat now. If you're interested in hiring our team for larger scale hybrid event production work, please also see our general brochure, which will be shared in the chat. And now back onto today's event. The event format will be introductions. So I'll introduce the panelists and who's pitching. Then we've got up to 5 pre-selected pitches and feedback sessions. Each starter will get to pitch for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then they'll get 10 to 15 minutes feedback through the panelists. Observers are welcome to ask questions in the chat, and startups can then respond in the chat afterwards. I mean, if we have a bit of time, then we may be able to ask some of those questions live, but we'll see how we go in terms of time. And then at the end, we'll have some updates on future Pitch Lounge and Foodpreneurs Collective events. Housekeeping rules. Please keep on mute unless it's your turn to speak. Prefer to have your videos on so we can see you and also black screen. We're here to support and encourage, so please be mindful of what you write in the chat and be constructive if you're providing feedback. Right, on to our panelists. So I'd like to introduce them first. First up, we have Ahmed Shamia, general partner of Homegrown Ventures, focused on investment, FMCG, startups, sales and operations. Ahmed brings 20 years of FMCG and CPG experience. He started at Kraft Foods and later driving growth at Nokia, Microsoft, and as country manager at Danone, Algeria. He co-founded Hilal Ful, a cultural home lifestyle brand, expanding this into international markets. He is now a general partner at Homegrown, where he invests and grows the next generation of consumer brands. So we'll share the details in the chat. Next up, we have Elena Suchu. She's founder and CEO of RSVP Business Angel, a judge and mentor at Mass Challenge Switzerland and Founder Institute in London, a food and drink challenger brand advocate, and ex-Diageo. She leads RSVP Business Angel, where she supports food tech startups with mentorship, investor access, financial strategy, and fundraising preparation. She serves as a judge and mentor at Mass Challenge Switzerland, Founder Institute London, ETH Entrepreneur Club, Brainforest, and EIT Food. She helps food and AgTech innovators scale through investment readiness and strategic partners. She draws on over 15 years of experience at Diageo and in venture investing to champion food and beverage challenger brands and impact-driven food tech ventures worldwide. Again, you can find her details in the chat. Next up, we have Ravi Kakara, co-founder of Global Air Water Generation Initiative. He's an investor, entrepreneur, and sustainability leader. He's the Chief Strategy Officer for Aeronero Global, an air water generation #1 company. He actively promotes the use of AI for food, leveraging artificial intelligence to drive innovation in sustainable agriculture, food security, and climate-resilient farming systems. As the co-founder of the Global Air Water Generation Initiative, he is committed to investing in and supporting sustainability and clean tech ventures. He founded the Investor Forum in New York City to advance the India movement towards a 35 trillion economy by 2047. As a senior advisor, he champions investment in women-led enterprises and inclusive economic growth worldwide. Again, you can find the details in the chat. And then next up, we have Yaz Abdullah, founder and CEO of LeadUp, CEO of Urban Hospitality Group, a strategic hospitality advisor and vertical growth specialist. He's the founder and CEO of LeadUp, where he focuses on leadership development, strategic growth, and empowering organizations to unlock their potential. As CEO of the Urban Hospitality Group, he drives innovation in hospitality, scaling dark kitchens, delivery models, and customer-centric solutions across global markets. He serves as a strategic hospitality advisor, helping businesses optimize operations, adopt emerging food and beverage trends, and build sustainable vertical growth strategies. With extensive experience as a vertical growth specialist, he mentors leaders and executives on scaling strategies, innovation, and building resilient businesses. And you can see his details in the chat. So thank you to all our panelists for coming on this evening and giving in their time for this event. Next, I'd like to introduce the startup. So the first pitch we have is Seda Bayrak of Seda's Kitchen. And then after that, we have Christopher Anderson, Joy of Wine. And then finally, we have Ashish Sharma of Orderific. So I'm going to pass over to Seda to do our first pitch.
Okay. Hi, my name's Seda. I'm here to introduce you to Seida's Kitchen. Seida's Kitchen is the first ever African cooking sauces in the UK, made from a rescued ingredients. It started from a personal necessity and clear gap in the market. So my story, I born in East Africa. I'm from a mixed race family. We were foodie family. We don't speak each other language, but the food was the center of everything in household. So my grandfather was a farmer. My family was foodie. So I grew up and come to this country, and I get married, and I had a daughter. My daughter struggled with food allergies, so I couldn't did some research, extensive research on the food we eat in the supermarket and what is on the shelves. So what I discovered, the problem is current sources fail to meet modern consumer expectation, bland, overly processed, inauthentic, high in sugar, lacking texture, one size fit all approach. And the market misses almost no allergen-friendly African sauces, limited clean label options, no additives, preservatives, e-numbers, lack of convenience, hard to find ready-to-use African cooking sauces. So I introduced the 3 African cooking sauces, which is one is Tajin cooking sauces, Moroccan, Ethiopian, and Somalian. They bold and allergen-free Tajin sauces inspired by my family recipes in African culinary. So I have a lot of plans to expand the range of the product, but the upcoming flavors currently are 2 more flavors added to the 3 ranges, which is one shakshuka, cooking Tajin sauces, and chickpeas, which is ready to use straight away from the jar. It's already cooked and ready to use. So my competitors, currently the only competitors are the Middle Eastern Tajin cooking sauces, but they're not direct competitors because they first move in African, they're not clean sauces like mine, allergen-free, preservative-free flavors, or they don't have any African flavors within their range. So the regional family recipes, not generic global blends, they positioned for global natural and global flavor segments, but they don't have anything that what I'm claiming and what stands my product and my brand. I started in 2019 and from my home kitchen, and when I couldn't use the sauces from the market, and I introduced the sauces to 3 independent shops. I ended up with 45 independent shops. And then from 2023, I have been approached by Sainsbury, and I currently supplying 450 Sainsbury stores and expanding to CLF. I just signed a contract with CLF to 250 stores in the next few months or next few weeks. So we just start to launch, getting the stock and launching quickly. So I am pleased that the revenue and growth. I'm pleased to share that this year's sales are looking to hit 154K, 86% up on last year. Sainsbury represents over 60% of these sales, and the remainder is a split between Amazon, DTC, and Indies. Funding is essential to drive ongoing growth. Assuming we secure the fund 125K soon, and based on the launches with more UK retailers, more UK indies, and the Europe launch, we are targeting sales of over 900K for 2026. And by 2028, we aim to hit revenues of 5 million, reaching EBITDA at that time around 18%. So we won 2 awards currently, recognition and award. We won the Great Taste Award, and then we were finalists to Norwich Award on the 25th of this month. We won 3 stars at Norwich Award. So we are in, they recognize the sauces and they loved what we offered to the award. So the use of funds and what we're asking is 325K equity in the business. 60% of the use of funds goes to team growth, key hires to support scaling. 40% is going to working capital, inventory, and operations. Funding will enable us to scale production to meet rising demand, expand product range and to other marinades and sauces, strengthen marketing and distribution in the UK, in the EU, and US and Middle East. So meet my team. I am the only full-time currently. I have 3 freelancers that are really good and helpful. And also I have launched advisors to come on board with have experience, and I'm sure that they're going to add value to the business. they're more experienced, and they have a lot of years of experience in food industry. So I'm just having board advisors. I'm sure that this business will go far. So hopefully, everyone recognizes that and will see with my added value, and their value will be really a really strong business. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Saida. Great presentation. Amazing what you've achieved to date. Right, over to the panelists. Ahmed, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Saida, and congratulations on the business and the tractions you've done so far. I took a note that you launched in 2019, right? So,
Yeah.
So from 2019 till 2025, your focus was on the jars and the sauces and the packaged products.
The packaging.
Great. And finally, you got some positive traction, and now you are in the physical retail, planning to hit 150K or 154K.
Yeah, 154K.
Yeah. So help me understand this, that it took you 5 years to get into 154K, and then in 1 year, you're projecting to go to 916,000. So how is that possible in terms of?
Well, when I started the business, don't forget that we had the COVID in 2019. Is when the COVID pandemic started. So trading was not as expected because we couldn't go out and do, and then I was supplying the sauces from a commercial kitchen, and I only was providing up to 45 independent shops from my commercial kitchen, distributing to 45. So I wasn't able to scale the production or fund or outsource the production. So it wasn't really that good time. So I started properly trading in 2023 because I added value to the business after the COVID, after the lockdown is released. Then I start to move with the business, but before was not possible. So the pandemic affected me a
Then
lot.
let's take the base 24, 25, right? So 24, 25, you're now at 154K. So it took you 2 years to reach that number. Then in 1 year, you're saying that 2026, I'm gonna go almost to hit 1 million. So
No,
what's
and
how you can
when
scale it that?
well, the Sainsbury, they start talking with me in 2023. While I was talking with Sainsbury, I was only supplying 45 independent shops. So they asked me to update my labels, to update my branding, to make it really, really good look good. So I start trading with Sainsbury in June last year, 2024. So then it started supplying serious supply, started to supplying Sainsbury, not only Sainsbury, but increased the number of independent shops as well. And that is why we are currently at that, looking to hit in 194. Last year, the profit margin was 82,000. So this year will be 154K.
Right. The 154K for this year, it will be 916 next year, right?
Yes,
So
if
how
we
are you gonna do that jump?
because we expanding the business, we signed a CLF, we signed a contract with ESCO, we signed a contract with Ocado. So we need the money to expand and get the product from the manufacturer in order to be able to distribute. So the reaching is easy to reach a 900 if we have a distribution channel and we have the volume of the product increased. Currently, I'm limited what I can do. I just only started this business with startup loan 25K, and I reached up to today. I'm only 100% business owner. No one owns anything in my business.
That's a good story. And I'll close with this question. What's your gross margin today? So your revenue is 154K. What's the gross
My
margin?
gross margin today is 31%.
31%.
Mhm.
Are you
But
spending any money on marketing?
and yeah, from the profit that I make from Sainsbury.
Roughly how much you're spending? 10%, 20%?
About 10%. But although I wanted to increase the marketing because the marketing is everything, but I'm currently struggling. I cannot invest in the marketing that much. So just I have to wait till I get investment so I can address the marketing. But the marketing is my priority currently.
Yeah. It will be important for you to improve your gross margin, right? So 30 is quite low. So you need to aim to bring it up at least to 50, allowing you to
Yes.
have more pockets to invest. So just keep that in mind for next year growth. And thank you again, Seda.
Thank you. Thank you, Ahmed.
Great. Thank you, Ahmed. Ravi, would you like to go next?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's first of all, congratulations to really take it from where you started. And I think, as
Thank
you
you.
said, COVID has been both a challenge and an opportunity. So just building on to Ahmed's questions, because I think you answered some very important points. So on your marketing, if you were to look at investments in marketing, so what is it you're looking at? Are you looking at inbound, outbound? Are you looking at digital marketing? What would be your strategy to really go to that growth curve that you're talking about?
Well, to create mass marketing, basically to make the source available as well as to create awareness, because at the moment our awareness is limited to social media, and I don't have no expert in marketing, and we promoting the product ourselves. I have a marketing lady, but she's only doing social media. So the marketing I would like is just to be able to do a lot on marketing. For example, billboards and approaching in-store marketing to showcase the product, which I'm doing at the moment, but it costs money, a lot of money. So the product doesn't, you have to do a lot of testing in order the people to understand the flavors and the product and everything else. And yeah, that's kind of what I want to start with. And then I want to get someone expert. I'm not expert in marketing, but I would like to invite someone that can guide me and also extend the awareness of the product in the market. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Ravi. Yaz, have you got anything to ask on this one?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Seda.
Hi.
Adding to Ravi's remark, kudos to you for getting this off the ground really quick. So
Yes.
well done on that. Just a couple of questions on my side, just leading on that marketing stuff that Ahmed and Ravi just picked up on. I'm just checking your social media handle at the moment on Instagram. And at the moment, it's just for clarification, your deck said African flavors, yet your social media says authentic East African flavors. So
Yes.
I think just a little bit of clarification. I think just from a
Yes.
consumer perspective, I think that voice needs to
Yes.
be pretty
Yes.
pretty spot on. Yeah.
Well, I'm addressing all African continent, but I started East African because I'm from East Africa.
Okay.
And will extend to other ranges, but I need some guidance on that. So that's why I want someone to amend. I haven't looked into how to amend it, but I am currently not only doing East African, but the 3 first sources that I launched is from Morocco and from East Africa.
Okay, fine.
So yeah.
It's just I think just for clarification, I think before you invest into marketing, I think some bit of tidying up needs to be done, certainly on your side. And also just make some couple of things here. You've made a bold claim. Now, I'm sure you've done your due diligence about the allergens. You said it's allergen free. So you're talking about the 14 allergens in the UK because you're listed in Sainsbury's, so completely allergen free.
Completely allergen free, but the production, the manufacturer, they handle allergen products, so I cannot totally claim on the label is free because in case of cross-contamination, but my ingredients is 100% free from the 14 allergens, yes.
Okay, and have you have you enlisted the services of a nutritionist or an allergen specialist from your side, not relying on them to make sure it's allergen free? You've done that, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I checked, but I got the vegan certificate, but gluten and allergen free. I
Okay.
checked, but I cannot afford to get the certificate because of the cost. Just trying to make sure that I, don't overspend something that I
Sure.
need. I'm trying just to enter the market and make sure that everything is is a nice place and the product is people are testing, and then I
Okay.
will get all that certification.
Okay.
The near
And just
future.
2 quick points before I hand back.
Mhm.
One, you mentioned that you're listing in Sainsbury's, you're looking at Ocado and Tesco's. Are these based on those guys purchasing minimum quantities for a trial run? Or have you secured a contract for 2, 3 years for an ongoing basis?
Well, I secured some contracts, but still in discussion. But because I don't have no investment and I can't increase the range of product currently, I already added 2 more flavors, but I'm in discussion with them, so I haven't reached the
So
total.
so the contracts are pending you having the ability to supply them. Am I correct in saying that? Okay,
Yes,
fine.
because it's just my part that I have
Okay.
first to go
Okay,
back
cool.
in.
All right, okay. And last question from me. You've asked for £325,000, of which 60% you're going to put towards your team. Can you just give me a breakdown really quick for the benefit of everyone here, what
Mhm.
that team breakdown would be? And where would
Will
you
be an expert in inventories, logistics, marketing,
Mhm.
and accountancy, people that knowledge this market, because I am knowledgeable, but my knowledge
Okay,
is limited. But I need
okay,
someone expert to come on board, as well as increase the support with European Union, because I'm expanding to European Union.
okay,
I'm part of the West to Plate program. So I
okay,
went to Netherlands, showcased the product, and there are not only the UK, but I would like also to
okay,
go to the Middle East as well as the EU. So I'm just
okay.
looking, employing some staff in the UK as well as the
That's-
European Union.
Okay, I mean that is a great plan, but just a little tip from me.
Mhm.
Perhaps you would need to really understand the salary brackets of employing these types of people and expertise, because
Mhm.
I don't think 100 or £40,000 is going to go very far in salaries. But thank you for your pitch.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, yes.
Thank you.
And then finally, Elena, I know you work with Said already, but have you got any questions or thoughts you want to add?
Yes, of course. We always have questions. We can always find more questions to ask. So I just wanted to ask you, what is the price, the retail price in Sainsbury?
And the recommended retail price in Sainsbury is £3.50. And the sale price, I sell to Sainsbury £2.07, the wholesale price.
All right. And what would be the prices in the specialty stores?
Varies. The specialty stores, some sell £4.50, some sell £3.90, so they're different.
And how do you place yourself against the competition in the sauce space?
Well, the competition is not as every independent shops is different. So currently I'm just supplying to, and then just the marketing or online, also providing on Amazon. They're buying from Amazon, they're buying from Sainsbury, they're buying from the supermarket. So yeah, so there is no fierce competition, because most of the sources is a new sources and people relate to this kind of sources. But I do the marketing myself. I go to the shops and showcase the product, give them some samples, give them recipes, and working behind the scene to see the customers, what they use, how they use the sources. So that's is.
I see. Do we still have time? There is somebody else on the
No,
panel.
you can ask another question. Or
Okay, thank you,
another
thank you.
point.
Because we were discussing before the gross margin that has to be improved up to 50%.
Yeah.
I was thinking about what about the supply chain and how the ingredient cost can be stable, or because I believe with the economy of scale, when you are going to order a container or more than a container, the ingredient cost is going to drop. What can you tell us about that?
The higher the volume, the lower the cost of the production.
So it is possible to lower
yes,
the cost
it's possible. The higher the production, that the order you order, the lower the cost of the production. But if you order certain amount, then the cost goes up. But if you increase the volume of the production, then the cost will go down.
Okay, so you have made these calculations.
Yes.
This analysis. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much and wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you to all the panelists for your questions there. And thank you, Seda. Great presentation and good luck with everything. Right, on to our next startup this evening. We have Christopher Anderson presenting Joy of Wine. So over to you, Christopher.
Hello, everybody. Just pulling up the screen here right now. My name is Christopher Anderson. I'm the founder and CEO of Joy of Wine Company. First of all, I just want to thank Jamal and Sasha today. This is a great opportunity. I really have enjoyed the first time I got to pitch here, so I appreciate the opportunity to come back. Wine and spirits is worth $500 billion, but compliance, reporting, and logistics still live in spreadsheets, inefficient and expensive. I'm going to show you how we will transform the industry and create a $10 billion company starting today. When you order a bottle of wine online, it feels simple. You just enter your address, check out, and a nice Cabernet shows up at your door. Someone signs, and that's it. But for the retailer who ships you that bottle, that simple transaction, in the US anyway, triggers a series of compliance steps. And within 48 hours, signatures must be logged, inventory adjusted, and taxes reconciled. Within 30 days, reports are due in every state shipped to, each with its own rules and formatting. And it never stops. Every month, every shipment, every state. That is the world that wine retailers live in today, and that's the world that we are fixing. Step one is compliance fine. We solve pain. That bottle of Cab, for the retailer, it's a compliance nightmare. A mid-sized operation could easily spend $170,000 a year and 40 hours every single month just on filings and reconciliations. Reporting spans 48 states that allow direct-to-consumer shipping with differing rules and formats. Miss a detail, and you risk notices, penalties, and rework. At some point, retailers just feel forced to choose growth or compliance. Compliance Vine changes everything. We replace those hours of spreadsheets with one-click, audit-ready reports. That mid-size operation spending $170,000 a year would see an ROI of 1,670% with the software paying for itself in 3 weeks. Vivino's largest shipper is already saving $160,000 annually. That's product market fit. Compliance is mandatory. That's why it's our Trojan horse. It saves money and installs the industry's data backbone. Step two, the AI sommelier, in beta now, globally live in 3 months. It's not generic AI, it's AI trained on transaction data that we capture. Every compliance filing becomes a competitive recommendation. Every recommendation is powered by real purchase patterns, Credible, scalable, defensible. We adapt to any market. Napa Valley needs wine pairing. Saudi Arabia needs premium non-alcoholic pairing. Dubai wants both. Singapore wants everything. Same platform, local compliance, global reach. We're already at 8,000 transactions with our beta customer. At 50 customers, we hit 300,000 transactions annually. At 100 customers, over 600,000 transactions. Wine.com took 10 years to get there. We'll do it in one. Compliance Find gives us the wedge. AI Sommelier scale, the real play data. Every filing, every shipment, every recommendation, and every interaction becomes insight. That's how we build the Bloomberg of beverages. We start with our $75 million wedge in US multi-state shippers, expand across wine into beer and spirits, $250 million, add cannabis, $5.5 billion, analytics, $32 billion, 4 verticals, 1 engine. Then we expand internationally, premium non-alcoholic markets, Saudi Arabia leading the Middle East, globally halal, with global halal beverages at something like $3 trillion market, zero alcohol, premium surging, dramatically expand our TAM. I mean, just huge opportunity there. We provide the intelligence layer for all premium beverages. We launched in August of this year. Day one, Vino's largest US shipper, saving $160,000 annually. First 24 hours, 50 inquiries, 300% engagement across all channels. We're not pushing, the market is pulling. Circana report says there's cost to doing nothing. And Wine Industry Network confirms compliance is the #1 pain point for wineries in 2025. We're solving it right now. Our business model is simple SaaS economics, monthly recurring revenue, customer acquisition costs at scale under $2,500, with lifetime value over $40,000. That's a 16x. The industry standard is 3x. This is a cash machine. Our competitors, Sovos is enterprise only, $30,000 to $50,000 a year with very slow cycles and long setups. Avalara, generic tax automation, fragmented, not really purpose-built for alcohol. Fort Systems is consultant heavy, and spreadsheets waste up to $170,000 a year, 40 hours a month. Circana says it best. More of the same is not a growth strategy. And here's the kicker. The timing is critical. EU e-labels, US TTB alcohol facts, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, and state rule changes are hitting now. This is a 6-month window. First to 1,000 wineries owns this industry. We're already at 50 conversations. They're at 0. I've lived this problem for 15 years between the IRS, Total Wine, and RNDC. My co-founder, Mark Ross, has scaled SaaS at Razorfish for 20 years. He's a white label SaaS pioneer. You're probably using one of his products. We're raising up to $2 million at a $10 million cap. $500,000 gets us multi-state expansion. $1 million gets us the US and a Saudi pilot for Vision 2030. $2 million, a global platform. Vision 2030's hospitality projects are selecting vendors now. US revenue funds international expansion. It's a proven model. It's not just software. It's beverage intelligence for the new global economy. Who's in? It's a 6-month window. Vision 2030 vendor selection happening now. EU e-labels live since December 2023. TTB alcohol facts has a 5-year runway. First to 1,000 wineries owns this category. From compliance to intelligence, digital transformation of a $500 billion industry, the Bloomberg of beverages. I'm Christopher Anderson. I'll be here for the Q&A. My contact info is on the screen. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Christopher. Amazing. Brilliant. Wow, what you've achieved there and what you're building. Right, over to the panelists. Yaz, would you like to go first this time?
Yeah, thanks, Sasha. Hey, Chris. Yeah, what a solid performance when it comes to a pitch delivery. Pretty articulate. I like that. Just a couple of questions. Just fire from your side. I just want to know. You started this business. You went live in August 25.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And you want to hit a 10 billion US dollar valuation. Am I correct in saying that? Or have I misunderstood?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay. Can you just tell me, one, the time frame, or stroke where the exit will be, and how do you envision you will make 10 billion US dollars from this platform? Because that's a big ass number.
It's a big, big number, isn't it? This is a big, bold plan. I thought I'd share the big vision today,
Okay.
not the little vision. So it starts with compliance. We're really just copying the model that has already been done by other companies, specifically Viva in compliance did this in pharma life sciences. They only raised $7 million before their IPO, and they're built on Salesforce's platform. They went public for 4.4 billion. Today they're worth over $40 billion with 4 billion-ish in revenue.
Okay, so you're heading towards an IPO. Am I correct?
Eventually, yes. Yeah,
Right.
that's where the 10 billion comes from.
Right.
We start, but we start with just this specific problem. We solve this pain that is just hours and hours of spreadsheet grinding work. We solve that pain. That gets us in, that collects us the data, and we get the funding so we can expand the AI sommelier to do our recommendation platform. That's our inventory recommendation platform. That we expand across wine into those 4 verticals: beer, spirits, eventually cannabis will be fully legalized here in the US. That's a $5.5 billion TAM. The data engine of all that data that we've collected, and we resell it back to the industry, is the real play. That's the $32 billion market. That's how we become a $10 billion company when we scale it internationally.
Okay.
Does that answer the question, Yaz?
It does, in a very fundamental way. I get it. I just wanted to know how that 10 billion. So you agreed it was an IPO, but in terms of like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong on this. How are you different to a company using an advanced stock management system to essentially, with obviously AI attached to it? Is that not the same thing? Because obviously they're dealing with a wine inventory or a wet inventory on a basis. So I'm just trying to understand that they will capture all of that data from their stock management system. So how are you different in that respect? And
they're not capturing consumer data. They're capturing wholesale data is the big difference there. I'm capturing actual transactions from the retailer to the consumer, the final end data. There are other companies that collect all this information, but nobody does it from a compliance standpoint, which is Sovos, Avalara, those guys. They have this data. They don't do anything with it.
But usually a stock management system is connected to a business's a front end EPOS system. You know, when they're doing a retail or a transaction, that you know that all of that depletion and management, everything is combined anyway. So the company has all of that fundamental stuff there. But the last question I wanted to, 2 questions, real quick ones before I hand over to the rest of the panel. One, you said there was a return on investment over 1,000% since you launched. Is that because it's the early days and everybody's
no, I'm sorry. The 1,000% is on the product itself. That's for the cost of the product, the savings there. For the consumer of the product, the purchaser of the SaaS product, specifically the wine retailer who's spending $170,000 a year on compliance, my software costs less than 10 grand a year for them. That is their return savings.
Okay.
I'll give you an example, a live one, real live one. The company that I built the beta for, they were using Sovos Ship Compliant at $60,000 a year. They also were farming out all of that work to an extra consultant at 100 grand a year. They got rid of those 2 things and just use this in-house with their bookkeeper.
Okay. And last question from me: how much have you invested in this business so far?
In cash or in time?
Cash. Time is everybody has time, but cash.
In cash, I've only had to put in about $25,000 in cash so far.
Wow. Okay.
This is a very cash efficient business. Part of it is because I already built the product.
Okay. Cool, sweet. Thank you, and kudos to you for starting a new startup, Christopher. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Jazz, for your questions. Elena, would you like to go next as ex-Diageo? I'm sure you've got some
Hi,
questions.
Elena. Good to see you again.
Hi, Christopher. Good to see you. Congrats for the pitch today. I really enjoy your slides and their structure. I see a bolder vision than last time, and I congratulate you for that. I'm struggling with what question to ask. Because of this bold vision, I would ask, maybe you could have the time to answer both in a short version. My first question would be, have you built also the ecosystem that you need in order to roll out your big vision? Because you have a big opportunity, but this opportunity is time sensitive. So, and then it comes obvious that time factor is very important. So I just need to understand if you have enough people on board, resources, tap into the right funding and the right time, because otherwise you need to lock in effects, the market effects right now, and you need to be aware about the barriers to entry and so on. So yeah, please.
Elena, I'm very glad you asked that question. Specifically, I have decided to release this bold vision because I have been challenged by some of the VCs that we've been talking to bring a bigger vision to them. I have not fully filled out my team and everything yet. We are in process of doing that. We've been accepted to four different accelerators, having conversations very actively with 3 different VCs that could easily handle the initial seed or pre-seed, however you want to term it, check. But no, we are looking to complete that board. Elena, I have actually spoken to you about that opportunity and would love for you to be part of that, given your expertise and such. And particular for the international expansion, that I will have to do through partnerships. I do not have physical time to be in Dubai and be in US to understand US compliance laws, to understand what's going on in Saudi Arabia. That will be done through partnerships. We've begun discussions with a couple different companies in Dubai in particular, the restaurant providers, the Toasts of that world. And over time, that is really what we will be doing anyway, is, as most software is, that sort of competitive, collaborative element will be an integration into bigger restaurant providers. Toast would be here in the US, and then we'll find other partners to work with internationally. So no, we have not completed that at all. I do have the start of my board, in particular, my strategic advisors, board members, if you will. Bob Taylor is ex-CEO and president emeritus of Do It Taylor Centers here in the US, their hardware industry. He built that from a small local family industry, local operation to a multinational chain. Hardware industry is very similar to the wine industry that's very closely held.
Speaking about tech and hardware, how far are you in building the tech that you need, the platform that you need on a scale from 0 to 10?
We really need I would say we're about, on its 0 to 10, we're about a 4 or 5. My tech co-founder, Mark Ross, is diligently at work bringing us up to a 10. And he's on the call here today. He would actually be the one to answer that much better at this point, because I've handed off most of that to him, as he has all of that knowledge and experience and understands the vision.
Well, in some ways, our application, our infrastructure overhead here is exceptionally low, especially for our introductory offering, the kind of foundational piece, the B2B compliance software. That's a localized install. It's not something that we need to serve up. So we don't need infrastructure to support the runtime application, if that makes sense. So our overhead for that initial and critical foundational piece is really, really low. So we don't require an enterprise scaled framework or technical foundation for distribution of that. We're shipping it today.
And what could go very wrong?
A lot could, but
From
in
the tech part,
particular,
from Mark's perspective.
from Mark's perspective.
Well, it's interesting. So far, the application, I think maybe where we could get tripped up is if somebody brings us data that we cannot parse. The good news there is that they are passing along data from known sources, and those sources are not very numerous. So we are able to tailor for those as they're identified. Vivino is the huge market player, and their data, we're tailored for that primarily at this point because they are the dominant player. I think if we could get some curveballs from that. The other thing, this actually supports the product. The other thing is, as state or county level regulations change here in the US, we may have to change our software. On the flip side, the complexity of all those county level, there are over 3,000 counties in the US, each of which can have their own tax reporting standards. As those change,
would that data storage be an issue or a cost sensitive topic? Data storage for your company?
Once we get data collection,
yeah,
we're not there today. It's part of our roadmap to leverage that. But as it stands, it's all local, which also helps us mitigate any kind of security concerns. So people can run this locally on their own machine. We're not hosting anything. So that also absolves us of a lot of PII liability, stuff like that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Elena.
Great job.
And then on to Ahmed, have you got any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Sasha. No, thank you for the presentation and all the details, and congrats on finding a nice niche where there's no SaaS yet being deployed, especially in the US. That's not easy to identify. I'm trying to get my head around it, and I understand there is a lot of regulatory work to be done for direct-to-consumer shipments across the different states of the US. But how would that apply to Saudi, given that it's non-alcoholic, it's an export model and not B2C? It's going to be like more setting up a distributor and doing B2B transactions, which requires way less regulatory work. What would make Saudi a part of the equation in a way?
That's really where the other element that I mentioned there, the step 2, the AI sommelier, is so important. While it's focused now right on wine, it does not have to be. It is simply an inventory and recommendation engine that can be applied across the entire beverage industry. And that is a global, has no regulatory issues. It's one way or the other. It's adaptable to whatever market it will be in, whether you're and whatever products it's recommending once the database is built in those other products. Currently, the database is only built on wine, and we're training it all on wine and US-based transactions. Once we have it trained on US-based transactions, we'll be able to expand it globally. And initially, we'll expand it in wine, then we'll expand across other beverages, because wine is the big market.
So it's kind of like replenishment model in a way that recommends certain stock levels and how to manage your stocks. This is what you're trying to...
No, I think when you go into a restaurant and you have an interaction with a wine list or a waiter, and or you go into a big wine warehouse. Like here in the US, we have these giant wine warehouses. In Texas and Florida in particular, they're enormous. They're filled with just 50,000 square feet of nothing but booze. People are very intimidated by them. They walk in, they walk out. I've worked at Total Wine. I've seen it happen. Or those 10-page wine lists that you go to a fancy restaurant, they hand you a 10-page wine list. People literally just point to their to the second lowest priced bottle by varietal and hope. The AI sommelier will replace that interaction, where now that consumer will already have their information based upon their profile because they've been using it. And they go into the restaurant, the facility, they scan the menu, they scan the wine list. It makes a recommendation based upon what they like, their individual profile. That's the B2B to C play. That's the B2C play. The B2B play is directly deployed within a Total Wine, within a Pete's Warehouse, a Duke's restaurant, whatever, where it's an interactive, and some of the higher end restaurants are already there where they have menus on iPads. The next step is to make that interactive, where just from the inventory that's at that Duke's restaurant and just what's that menu is, with that person's profile linked to it, because it's a separate database that we carry of that person's profile. They log in, say they're at Duke's restaurant. Well, here's their wine list, here's their menu, here's your recommendation based upon what you like. The third level there, of course, is the I got the B2C, the B2B2C. Did I get them? Did I get them all, Mark? I think I'm. But you see about how it starts to apply across other industries and other ways, and we train it with wine, because wine is the big pain problem from the consumer standpoint as well as from the producer standpoint. There's just this huge information gap in wine. From a farmer standpoint, a wine grower standpoint, they put their juice into the bottle, their wine into the bottle with a label, and then they hand it off to a distributor or wholesaler. They hope that the end seller, the sommelier in the restaurant, the person in the wine warehouse, whoever it is, can read enough on that label to sell that wine to the consumer. A really well-trained sommelier will know 80% of what's in that bottle based upon the label. The consumer might know 5%.
Well,
that's just a huge information gap, and tech can make everybody's life easier and better because people will confess everything to their technology. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
Well, and on top of that, at least here in the US, I would think not so much in the UK, but here in the US, good help is hard to find. Particularly, I've thought about hotel chains. And the idea of having a just dynamite sommelier at a hotel intercontinental. Good luck. You may have one at some locations, but certainly not all. And to have somebody who's knowledgeable, truly deeply knowledgeable about your inventory, your catalog, good luck again. This really helps fill that gap and hopefully inspires the consumer to buy a better bottle of wine at a higher price point. And also, personalize the experience. We've even heard from, I think it was Elena who was there.
Elena did a great story of the sommeliers in the south of France who no one wants to hire because they cost too much and they're too snobby.
Well, and the consumers want to bypass them for the
same reason.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I just feel that there is a lot to be built, right? So the whole regulatory, let's say, dimension or vertical that you still need to deploy it, get your market share, get that part of the business, get it in place. Then there's another vertical, which is now you're taking one step down, working with the consumer to recommend, advise, and get them to order what they want to order, which is a different type of SaaS, different type of deployment, because now you're talking to outlets and restaurants and hotels and this and that. Then on top of it, there is applications outside the alcohol industry that can be done in the US before you go even outside the US. Then there is the outside the US model. So it's kind of like a roadmap in a way. And I believe that will take time, will take prioritization and all of that, which is quite interesting that you're looking.
We agree with everything you have said there, Ahmad. And that's why we're starting with the pain.
And so that brings me to the second part of my question. When we talk about we need 2 million for 10 million cap, can you build on that? Like, what's the basis of the valuation that you have set at 10 million?
What is the basis of the valuation of 10 million? The offers that I'm starting to receive from the venture capitalists.
Okay, so it doesn't have to do with the revenue projection or...
We are pre-seed, pre-revenue.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Good luck, guys.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. I don't think Ravi's got any questions. So I see we've got one question from the audience here. So I'll read that one. And if anyone else in the chat wants to ask a question, I can ask it on your behalf, or you can come on and ask a question. What can I expect when I enter a Total Wine store? How would I interact with the AI sommelier? Is it through an app on my phone or someone helping me in the store?
So as it exists today, it doesn't. But how it will exist is you could use an app through your phone, would be this easiest way. If Total Wine themselves were to white label this internally, it would be called the Total Wine AI Sommelier or something. The Joy Wine Company name would not be on it anywhere. And it may not even have AI Sommelier in the title from if Total Wine licensed it directly from us. It would still interact with your data though, because the data sets would be Total Wine would have a closed data set that our open data set would interact with from a personal standpoint. It's just a login with your Google login ID. Does that answer the question?
Hopefully. Any further questions on that one from whoever asked that question? It was Srikant. Anyone else got a question from the chat? I think we're safe on that one. Anyone else? We've got about 30 seconds left if anyone else on the panel has got any further questions. Well, that's good. Right, no. So no more questions. I don't think we have there. So brilliant. So thank you so much, Christopher and Mark. And I think everyone can have a chat with you afterwards during the networking. So thank you so much. And now on to our next presentation of this evening. And that is Ashish Sharma presenting Orderific.
Hey everyone. Hi, so I'll just start the presentation. So we have been listening to some discussions about millionaires and billionaires. Just a minute, I'm just opening. Yeah, just wanted to confirm if my screen is visible. Hello.
Yeah, it is visible. Yeah,
Yeah,
go for
okay.
it.
So yeah, I was mentioning that for the past few minutes we have been talking about millionaires and billionaires, and I want you to close your eyes and in fact go back a million years back. Okay, imagine a time when there was a stone age and we had nothing. We used to hunt in the jungles, and the only celebration that we had was when we used to come back home and have food together. So food is related to celebrations. Now, come to just 30 or 40 years back when you enjoyed some good meal prepared by your mom or a grandmom, you still have the essence to it. So food actually connects people. And now imagine you're sitting in your neighborhood restaurant where the owner used to come to you and speak to you by your name. The owner knows you. Which actually is not happening now. If you come back to reality in the current scenario, all we are having is an app in our hand and we are just ordering. We are surrounded by the systems, we are surrounded by the apps. And now, when we are going to a particular restaurant, the restaurant owner doesn't even know our name, they don't connect with us. So, that essence is actually lost as of now. And that's where we bring Orderific. So first thing that is most important for a restaurant owner is customer data or the consumer data. So this is what we first provide to the end user. So what actually Orderific is? So it is a smart menu management system that we have built for the restaurant owners, which actually takes care of the POS, which takes care of your review management, which takes care of your menu management, which takes care of website building, which takes care of order management system, and there are multiple apps which are built into one. So I will not go into details of the features of the product because if I speak about that, that will take more than an hour. But yeah, I'll run through this presentation and in the middle, I'll be talking about some benefits of it. So yeah, as I mentioned, that currently why the restaurant are not able to speak to you by a name, it's not the restaurant's problem. They are not at mistake. The problem is they are surrounded by these aggregators who are bleeding them. Currently, currently the restaurant world, the owners are bleeding. They are having very high staff management costs. They are having very low revenue. Aggregators are eating up their revenue, and here order comes and helps them. How? I'll tell you three key points. First, we provide your customers' data belongs to you. That is the first promise that we provide to the restaurant owners. I think everyone knows that acquiring a new consumer is always costlier than retaining a consumer. So OrderFit has an in-house loyalty management system which the brand owner can build themselves. And this loyalty management system can be based on number of visits or number of points. And this helps in retaining the customer, and hence the cost of acquisition of new customer goes less. Uh, okay, I'll go through the
Sorry,
slide.
can I just
Yeah.
stop you a minute? Have you
Yes.
got slides here? Because we can't see slides. We've just seen you talking. Are you supposed to be showing slides?
I'm presenting the slide. That's what I asked.
Right, I
on my
can't see. We
screen
can't see
share.
the
No,
slides.
you
Can
you,
Okay.
you
put
were
sharing?
originally sharing slides and then they stopped. I don't know why they stopped. But yeah, you stopped about 30 seconds ago. The slides stopped sharing. Yeah, your sound's also very, very loud. But share your slides again.
I'll share the screen again.
I thought you were switching between to another presentation. I thought you were coming back to face and then showing us a second deck. But instead, you just stopped sharing your slides for some reason. I'm not sure what happened.
Is my slide visible now?
Yes.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So as I mentioned, that OrderFit is a smart QR management, QR food ordering system, where we have simplified the order management for the consumer and for the restaurant owners. So whenever a consumer goes to a restaurant, they can just scan a QR code. What you have seen is most of the restaurants they allow to scan the QR, but they will only provide the menu. You will not be able to place an order from there. However, with OrderFit, the consumer can place an order, and the order directly goes to the kitchen and gets printed on the KOT. So it's a seamless order between the consumer and your kitchen, and it takes a fraction of seconds. So it reduces delay of ordering and helps save time for the consumer and save cost for you. It also helps in reducing your staff costs, because if a restaurant is running with a staff head count of 50, the same restaurants can be managed with just 10 staff members over here, and you will end up saving more than 80% of the cost that you are spending on the staff itself. Now, uh, it's having AI powered upselling. I'll mention about it. So let's say, for example, it's a complete data driven system that we have made. Uh, so let's say, for example, a consumer has visited your restaurant a few times, and the system is capable to identify what kind of items this consumer likes. So whenever the next time the person comes, and let's say they ordered a pizza, and we already know from the system that this person prefers a Coke along with the pizza. So automatically, uh, it will start upselling the related products which are actually liked by the consumer earlier, not just your restaurant but other restaurants as well. So it helps in upselling, and it helps in increasing your revenue. Now, 0% driver fees. Okay, as I mentioned that we have an integrated system where it's a complete system with multiple apps combined together. So we have a delivery management system integrated into it, and which can actually be utilized your own in-house drivers as well. So let's say, for example, you have your two drivers, which are your in-house. They can utilize the system, and you will be saving on your delivery cost, which you are actually paying on the aggregators. And this system also allows other riders to register over here and help you out in your order deliveries. Now let's as I mentioned, yeah. So you can we in the system we have few components where we have the DMS where you can mm, create your menu. You can customize your menu. It's completely customizable. Even the menu items that are over there, there you can specify the nutrition details. So completely customizable menu can be made over here. And yeah, as I mentioned, it helps in taking data-driven decisions. And yeah, so is your access okay? Is, yeah. So as I in this system, what we have made is we, along with the consumer data, along with the menu management system, we also provide a free website that you can host from within our system. And for that, you don't need any technical knowledge. You don't need any person, or you don't even need to speak to our customer support to make that website. Within the system itself, from the menu items that are mentioned in the system, it can automatically generate a website, and that can be freely hosted, which will help in bringing the customers to your restaurants. And along with that, as I mentioned, that we have the loyalty system also. We have a reservation management system within the app itself, and you can host the events. Now, here comes the advantage of AI-based automatic marketing, that system that we are having. So what happens? For example, you have an event which is for Arabic food. You create an event within the system, and you define a date, and you can just schedule it. The system will analyze which are the customers across your city who prefer to eat Arabic food, or who have earlier liked Arabic food. So the system can automatically do marketing for your event across that customer. That gives you the visibility, and you can end up in getting more customers through those campaigns. So automated campaigns also we have. I'm not going exactly through the slides because yes, there are points which need to be covered, which I wanted to mention. So yeah, currently we have our presence in India, in Dubai, and in Philippines, and we're looking forward to launch this globally. And yeah, as I mentioned, that we have a simplified menu management where the consumer can drag and drop and create the website over there, which is powered by AI-driven content. So you need not mention any details about it. You need not capture any images. You just provide the details, and the system will take from your menu itself. And if something is missing, it can generate from AI as well. And yeah, for delivery riders, I already mentioned this point. And okay, this is a very
Time's
important
up.
one.
Sorry, time's up now, because you had a
Yeah.
set time slot for pitching. So
Okay.
presenting. So now I'm going to open it up to the panel. I think that I have to definitely start with Yaz on this one because this is like his area. So over to
Yeah,
you.
I'm really sorry for that. I actually asked before starting whether my deck is visible or not, but yeah, I have
No,
to start with
I'm not
that.
sure what happened. It was visible, but then somehow it stopped sharing about third way through. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, yes.
Okay, sorry for that. So yeah,
Yes, let me start. Ashish, I think one recommendation, don't use AirPods for Zoom meetings or anything like that, because they are useless. So I just about made out what your pitch was about. So I mean, yes, I deal with hospitality tech companies quite often on behalf of my various clients. So do you know, here's a direct black and white question for you, Ashish. Do you know
yeah,
what's happening with the silent QR code revolt in restaurants?
yeah. Some restaurants might not prefer the QR code because
Not
they,
restaurants,
yeah.
diners. Yeah. So the Q, I just want to add this through because I deal with this day in, day out. And it's not me coming across as discouraging to your pitch, but it's
Mhm.
just something that perhaps you may want to seriously consider. The baby boomers and the millennials, we rave about QR codes, all the rest of it to a certain level. However, your Gen Zs and your Alpha A's and your Alpha B's, they are all revolting against QR codes because they want that personal experience. So I often have these conversations with anybody showing a QR code to do with any kind of aspect of hospitality, because hospitality in essence is the delivery of service and pleasing people. QR codes don't do that. So that's something I just wanted to add and fundamentally just put there for you. But in terms of one statistic that jumped out on your deck was that 75% of customers or consumers prefer a QR code. Where are you getting that data from? That 75%.
Okay, I'll explain. So, from the consumers who are actually using our system, we get the feedback from them. And I'll tell you why you mentioned, I absolutely agree that there could be some people who might not prefer that. However, let's take an example. If you are going to a particular restaurant and you scan a QR code, and you earlier might have selected a specific language, and you are in a different country where the menu is printed in an entirely different language which you do not understand. Our horrific QR code can help you in just translating that menu directly and give you an explanation about what product you're trying to order. And let's say, for example, uh, you like a coffee with no sugar and double shot espresso. Now you can just by your prior experiences or by your prior orders, the moment you will scan a QR code, your previous orders or your previous preferences can show up directly. So it actually helps the restaurant owners also because you are shown the products that you actually like, and for the consumer, they get to see something that they would prefer to order at that particular time. Now let's say in the afternoon, if you're trying to scan the QR code, we might present you different food items. However, in the evening, if you're scanning the QR code, we might present you a different food items. That will be absolutely based on data-driven analysis that we have done at the back end, and based on that, the food preferences are shown. So something, if you are preferring and if it is presented to you, you're more likely to order that. So
Okay,
that's
fine.
where it helps.
Okay,
And
cool.
in addition to that, one more point, since you mentioned that personalization. Now, if you are ordering from an aggregator, they do not share your customer data with the restaurant owners. However, in our case, the complete customer data belongs to the owner. They own it. So here the owner actually knows the customer. The owner can actually greet you by your name. The personalizations comes over here with
But
order.
that's not realistic. Sorry,
So we are
Ashish.
changing that with technology. Yes, earlier,
I'm sorry to say,
okay,
but that is
yeah,
not
please.
realistic in dealing with chained restaurants. The owner will not come and greet. I mean, there may be a personalization. We normally see that with reservation systems within restaurants, but the actual personal greeting, I don't think that's there. I like the fact that your app does the translation of languages. I think that's a real winner. So on the back of that, one thing, maybe I've missed it because of the sound quality. Are you looking for investment, or you're simply just pitching your product, or?
We are pitching the product, and if anything further to it, we have Manoj, who is the founder and CEO for it, and he can be mentioning about. Because I do not have, I cannot mention about the whether we are looking up for investment or not. That decision is totally on Manoj. Manoj, you want to mention something for it?
Hey, I'm so sorry. I wasn't prepared for this call. But anyways, at the moment we're not proactively looking for investments. So this is more like a feedback session for us at this stage, I would say.
Okay, cool. And how many restaurants do you have subscribed to your services?
About
We have,
500 so
yeah.
far across 3 geographies.
Okay, and are there restaurants or QSR or coffee shop?
Yeah, restaurants and cafes mostly, and some of them are quick service restaurants, but most of them are like casual dining, I would say.
Okay, cool. I have a million questions, and obviously this is my expertise, but obviously I have to respect other panel members. So thank you for your time, Ashish and Manoj.
Thanks, Yas. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yas. Ahmed, have you got any questions?
Well, Thank you for the presentation, guys. It's usually never easy to try to get all the messages through in the allocated time. And the voice was a bit heavy, so it was a bit hard to. I will expand a bit on the last point of Yaz. Can you tell us about the actual experience of your solution wherever you have tested it? Like, how many stores did you test it with? What's the feedback? What's the uplift on the sales?
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
like the case study that you are building for the use of your software.
Yeah. So for now, majorly in India, Philippines, and Dubai. So the restaurants that we have started, most of them have seen the reduction in the staff cost, the cost that they are having towards the staff, because some restaurant which was managing by 20 people, they can manage by just 10. So straight away cost reduction is there on the staff side. Then consumer experience is coming from the order management part, because at any point of time, it's not a very heavy software and it is a web-based software. At any point of time, they want to introduce any new menu item or they want to introduce any discounts. It gives a seamless possibility to the restaurant owner to change anything at any point of time. They can even define different pricing for different aggregators. They can define a different pricing for different time of the day. So it gets immense possibility to the restaurant owners. And what they mostly like is uh, the visibility of the consumer data, because they can do the marketing to those consumers themselves. And that's where they are saving most of the cost. So they need not depend on other aggregators to bring the consumer to them. They prefer in retaining their existing customers by the loyalty programs and the internal marketing campaigns that we are having. So a lot of them have given up on the aggregators, because the other aggregators are, as you already know, they are eating up around 20 to 30% of the revenue what they bring to the restaurant. However, we do not charge anything to the consumer. So our base plan, what it starts with the basic features of order management and menu management, it's absolutely free to the restaurants. We only charge 2% to the consumers, not to the restaurant owners. So that's what the key benefit to the restaurant owners over here. And the additional features about, let's say, the automated marketing and AI-driven data, yes, that comes with a slight cost, but that is not major one. So there are very few who have opted for the highest plan as of now, because yes, we are new. But I don't prefer to call ourselves new. I would say that we are fresh in the market and we are here to give the essence to the restaurant owners about the new way how they can manage the restaurant better instead of the existing aggregators.
Okay, but don't usually the aggregators provide the delivery service and the recruitment of the consumers?
Yeah.
Is that something that you'll be doing? You will be
Yes,
marketing the.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. We internally we are doing the marketing and we get the customers for the clients. And for delivery, as I mentioned, we have a sister concern which partners with us for doing the delivery. Even if that consumer doesn't opt for that, in-house system have a delivery management platform. So their own delivery riders can also utilize that platform for the delivery. So it shows the map, it shows the location. They don't need to depend on any other aggregators to do all that. So they retain their own customer. Their customer is also happy, because the customer do not end up paying a 50% margin to the actual cost of the food. So customers are not preferring to order from the aggregator. They are ordering directly through ordering it, because the order directly comes to the restaurant. And the restaurant owner is also utilizing their own riders for doing the delivery. And within the system, we also have an option where riders can opt themselves for, let's say, for example, if I ask you that if a $50 food item, how much is the efforts taken by a rider for delivering a $50 food item, and how much efforts are taken by the rider for delivering a $10 food item? The efforts by the rider is same, right? But the fee that is paid to the rider differs. In our platform, we provide the opportunity to the rider to define their own terms of the payment. So let's say, for example, some rider can say that, okay, for 10 kilometers, I will charge X dollars. Some can say that I will be charging only on the percentage based on the order value. So there are multiple calculations and multiple combinations. And whenever a consumer is placing an order, the system will automatically fetch up which rider is having the least cost and the fastest time. So based on this algorithm, it will allocate the rider. So the consumer will also save the cost, and the restaurant owner will also save the cost over here.
And this is, I'm assuming it's not for every market, right? You cannot deploy it, for example, in Saudi or UAE because you will need your own riders. You cannot just have an open selection in a way.
We have partnership over there with some aggregators where they are providing the riders to us, and we are utilizing that. So yes, we cannot employ a rider directly, but they can they can be part of an organization, and we hire that organization to provide that to us.
Okay.
Great.
Well, yeah,
Sorry, I
it's
think
kind of like a diverse solution in a way, but you're taking on big bets, big battles because you'll be competing with the likes of Delivery Hero and others, yet you are competing on the
Yeah,
restaurant
absolutely,
application as well. So
absolutely.
it's kind of like for a fresh starter or fresh entry, those are big battles. So all the best, Ashish.
Yeah, thank you. I agree that it's a big battle, and there are already big players in the market, but um, we are not here to capture the 100% of the market. But yes, even if we are able to capture a big percentage, we will be able to show the restaurant owners how much margin they can save. And the moment we are able to show that, it will be easy to capture and have a win for us.
great.
And
Thank
one more point I want to mention is the business model of these big or large aggregators is actually based on the consumer data itself. They will never be able to share the consumer data to the restaurant owners. And when this spreads through the marketing, that the restaurant owners are able to see their consumer information, the restaurant owners are able to do their marketing themselves. They will not be dependent on these big aggregators. So we are hoping forward for a big step over here. I know it is difficult, but yes, we will do that.
Great, thank you. And then finally, we've got about a minute left, unfortunately, because we're running out of time for your Q&A section. Elena, have you got one quick question you want to ask? Unfortunately, we've lost B, so he's not on the call.
Yes, Ashish. I
Yeah.
must say, please, when you come to this type of gatherings, make sure you have a laptop or a better way to connect, because we are all struggling. I had huge difficulty in following because the voice comes through somehow with interruptions and also with an echo. So I was like, I felt like lost.
I'm really sorry for that. I actually use the same device for the meetings and I never faced this. I do not know why it is happening today. Maybe I'm using earphones today.
And also your
That's my
screen is
mistake.
moving, so it's not a laptop. You are not on a laptop. So
It is a laptop.
Sorry?
It is a laptop.
Yeah, it's very difficult visually, and also sound is not good. So nevertheless, we don't have the time, but I wanted to ask what would be your company best case scenario? Where do you see your company in 5 years?
Yeah, so currently we have captured, we are capturing, I cannot say that we have captured. Currently we are into 3 markets, and we are initially planning to expand within these 3, and we are planning to go to capture some markets within the US and the Europe as well. So yeah, so I cannot say exactly on the numbers that we are aiming for, but yes, we would prefer to expand in Dubai. That's the current situation, because this is where we are currently doing our market acceptance testing that is going on. And I would say that yes, so far it is good, but within 5 years, I can confirm that if someone asks you about our boutique, you will not have to search about it. You will definitely know about it.
All right. And do you foresee an exit
Foresee what?
for your company, selling your company? And normally I would think of 5 years, 7 years, something like that.
If you ask me the question now, first of all, I'm not authorized for it, but I don't foresee that because there is a huge potential over here in this organization, and yeah, there are very key players where we have to fight with them, and but yeah, as of now, we are not looking up for selling the organization.
All
But
right.
yes, in future, if there is any
The future.
partnership opportunities,
Yeah.
yes, we
Yeah.
would prefer to look into that.
Perfect. So I wish you good luck.
Thanks, Selena, and thanks for the feedback. I'll remember that next time if I'm having a meeting with you, you will not face the same problem again.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you, panelists, and thank you,
Thanks,
Ashish,
Sasha.
for presenting Orderific. Right, on to our
Thanks,
final
everyone.
panelist startup this evening. We have Sri Tej, which is a new one we've just dropped in at the last minute, who's the founder and CEO of Clubin.fun. So over to you, Sri.
Yeah, hi guys. I hope you can hear me. I just some issue with my view here. Hi guys. I hope you can
Yes,
hear
I
me,
can hear
guys.
you. Are you sharing some slides?
Not yet. I'm just trying to
Oh,
figure
right,
it out.
okay.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yes. Can't see the slides yet. Yeah, okay. Can you just put them on full screen? Yeah. Great.
Sure. In any case, if you miss my screen, kindly just let me know, and I'll
That's it.
just make sure that screen doesn't go away. So, hello everyone. My name is Sritej. I'm the founder and CEO of Clubin. So, at Clubin, to put it in a very simple way, we are digitizing the liquor industry starting from India. So, I'm from India, Hyderabad. So, we are digitizing the liquor industry. We are starting out with clubs and pubs as a niche market so that we can tap into the market pretty soon and expand from there. So, what is Clubin? So, Clubin is a SaaS ecosystem built for clubs, nightlife venues, and events around them. So they can manage their entire business in one single platform, and we also act like an omni-channel sales system so that they can directly sell to their customers. To put it in a simple way, you could see it as a Zoho for the entertainment industry, or with our omni-channel sales system, you could see us as like a Shopify for the entertainment industry. So what problems are we solving in the B2B side? So 90% of the nightlife establishments do not have online presence. That means you can't find them online, you can't book them online, you can't bill them online, and there's no consumer engagement that usually happens between the venue as well as the end consumer. So because of these reasons, they have a higher customer acquisitions cost. They spend high on advertisement and marketing. And there's little to none technology penetration at the ground level, operation level, from a consumer walking into them paying their vendors. And they use something called as a POS solution, which is a point of sale solution. But the point of solution just acts like a billing system. It's not integrated with a CRM or an ERP, which takes all of the enterprise data as well as a consumer data and makes any sense from them. So this means they don't have enough data. That means they can't take any data driven decisions. So coming to the problems on the consumer side of these businesses, which are regular customers from the age of 18 to 60 trying to visit these venues, discovering these venues and events isn't user friendly. And even if you do find them, there's no easy way of buying a ticket or booking a table, and there's a lot of friction and hurdles just to enter. And especially in India, there's a lot of criterias and a lot of parameters for you to even let in because of too much bad consumers and bad consumer experience cost to premium clients. And once inside, the experience is painfully slow because at these pubs, clubs, and cafes and lounges, there's a something called as a waiter to customer ratio. So there's only one or two waiters for every 50 to 100 consumers inside the venue. So what is the solution? Clubin. So we are not just building a product or a solution, we are building an ecosystem for the industry to thrive. But what does that ecosystem look like? On the B2B end, it's a combination of ERP, POS, and CRM, where we say that we first will enable the venues with technology. So we digitize, streamline, automate all of the operations in their value chain. So if a consumer is walking in, them paying at the venue, and then the venue talk to a vendor to provide those services, all of this is first digitized onto one single ERP platform. So then we streamline it and then we automate the process, which can be automated. So this improves efficiency on an operational level and gives them enough data driven decisions to make on their venue. This directly reduces cost and increases profit on an operational level at a ground level when they sell to their customers. So coming to how does it affect their end consumers through these businesses, we provide a sales system so that they can directly sell to their consumers, marketplace where we market and sell to their consumers, and we also provide an affiliation system where sales people, PRs, and other people who are in between these people can utilize our tech stack and sell to their venues. So we provide a centralized omni-channel sales system where we provide a three-step process, which is search, review, and book. Rather than making into an application, we were making it into a stack and an API integration, or into integrating it to WhatsApp and ONDC. So if you're ever talking to someone on WhatsApp and you're at the region, you could just directly book through WhatsApp. And ONDC is like a digital commerce in India, where it's like enabling like a social security kind of a system in a digital commerce in India. So this directly improves customer engagement, retention, and loyalty because they're directly interacting with their venues. So from buying a ticket, booking a table, placing a food and beverage order, and paying, everything becomes from a single app. Affiliation system is usually used by influencers, agencies, or individuals to drive sales. We understand there's the second layer of people who are actually doing the sales on ground. So we have automated all of the performance tracking as well as payments to the affiliation. So everything becomes seamless. The entire tech stack is what we're currently building is called as Clubin. So what is our revenue model? We are a SaaS first company. So everything that we sell is on a subscription for our tech stack. So in terms of our ERP, POS, sales system, and technology, we do not charge any commission. The problem with existing solutions here in India, at least, are they charge a commission on every transaction that goes from 5% to 33%. And there's a credit line which goes from 14% to 33%, sorry, 14 days to 60 days in general for them to receive the payments. So we have made them into a zero commission and instant payment settlements. And for the payment systems, we also partnered up with PhonePe officially, where we get 0.4 to 0.8% of all the transactions. If the venue is interacting with the tech stack, we will get paid. And this is at no extra cost to the business. We directly paid from the payment gateway as a solution. So marketplace affiliation and marketing, these are some commission-based things that we have put in to maintain a cost at our operational level and convenient for them. And other kind of services that can be delivered through a flat fee system. So what is our company's vision? So we are starting out with clubs and pubs, but what we want to do is horizontally and vertically integrate technology into the alcohol industry. And what we want to eventually be is the technology infrastructure of the alcohol industry. So you could consider we are building an operating system on an operation level as well as a tech stack for the alcohol businesses throughout the world. So our journey, we have done business more than 50 plus B2B clients. We have officially recurring users. We have more than 100 B2B clients that we have done business with more than thrice, but there are people who are recurring businesses. And we have officially supported as well as provided services to 20 plus corporates who are fine with them using our logo. There are more corporates who were not comfortably fine because there was no transaction for product, but transaction of service. So you could any companies such as other companies apart from Google, Microsoft, or Apple, we were also provided in terms of MNCs. So market, I'm not going to burn you down much on market, but the current landscape that we are in is called as PBCL, which is pub, bar, cafe, launch market. This is not a market cap, but the actual number of money that flew in, and only from an Indian standpoint of view. This was supposed to be a $64 billion market, but it already did a $70 billion in 2023 itself. So how do we target other verticals is that one is a fintech idea, which is called as PNPL. Right now it's a buy no pay later. We are trying to do something called as party no pay later. With party no pay later, we do not want to just increase a credit line to the venue people, so the consumers attending these venues, but we also what we want to do. I think there is some disturbance if I'm not wrong. Hi guys, is there any disturbance on my end?
No, it was sounding fine. It was sounding absolutely fine at our end. Continue. Your last 30 seconds left.
Sorry, there was some disturbance I had. Thank you for the clarification. So with the PNPL, we just don't want to give a credit line for the end consumers visiting these venues. The thing is that any alcohol business in India at least cannot be given in terms of debt or loan directly from a national banks. So they either go in an offline mode where they take money from loan sharks, or they go into these non-financial banking systems, NBFCs, where they pay higher interest rates. So not just increasing a credit line to the end consumers, what we want to have is a credit line for these business owners, because we have an entire knowledge of how many people are coming into, what are they paying, and what are they paying their rentals, and what are their margins are. And in India, especially liquor is highly regulated and deal with government. So we know how much exactly are they buying from the government every month from their excess department bill. And what we want to do is eventually also have a value chain management where our technology tech stacks some sourcing barley to end brewery where they're serving it on a glass, and as well as a vineyard to wine glass system. So coming to
can you sum up now, because you've finished the end of your slot?
Sure. I'll just sum it up in the next 1 minute. So to coming up our reputation, we've been top 8% of the Nickel Kamath Fund, accelerated IIT Madras. These are all the competitions and programs that we have won. This is a tech stack that works across the web, and we also know India is a country where internet accessibility might not be there. So as application pack entirely works natively offline as well, and as soon as it connects to the internet back again, all the log is uploaded, so you are ready. So I myself am the founder and CEO, have 3+ XPS in the PBCL, which is pub, bar, cafe, lunch market. I was an ex-CEO of a company called Mavix. We were a funded startup. We provided technology such as to IIT Madras. And in my experience with 3+ years, I worked with largest artists such as Sunburn, Nucleo, and Diplo as well. So coming to the fund, we are actively trying to raise funds. We are trying to raise $100,000, which will last us 12 months. And we are trying to raise it at a $1 million valuation that will give you approximately 10% dilution. And initially, when I started this, I had zero money to start with. So we did a small friends and family round rather than saying I'm going to raise for equity at a smaller round and dilute equity. What we instead did is, because I believed in myself, I did a debt round. So I took in sequences, I took a collective debt of $25,000, which I paid back in the last 1.5 years, and we are completely debt free as of today. We cleared all of the debt of $25,000 to put it in USD terms, but it's an INR. Cleared all of the debt in August, and we are completely debt free from the month of September, and we are going to see the first positive upcycle from it. And if an investor is interested in investing the entire portion of $100,000 or even a portion of it starting from $10,000, we are happy to take the checks, and we don't want to dispute on valuation. So safe note or CCPS is something that we would prefer. And this is our contact information. I also put it in the chat board. And thank you so much for the opportunity. Feel free to have any questions. I'll stop presenting the screen.
Right, thank you so much. Very interesting what you're working on there. Right, over to the panelists. Let's see, who shall I start with this time? Ahmed, would you like to start this time?
Sure. Let me do that. So thank you for the presentation and congrats on launching the business. Can you share a little bit more on the proof of concept, or you've shared a slide that those are the clubs or pubs that are currently engaged with. So is there kind of history or a few months of data in terms of sales being done, the revenue being generated, how things are really working so far?
Sure. So it's primarily what we did is that I believe in a concept called do not build first, but sell first. So what we sold is that I come from the background of PBCL. I used to work at these venues. So when I had the understanding, first I approached these venues saying that I want to build this. Are you willing to buy? Right? That had a venue of 100+ venues, spoke to over thousands of people, understanding from a waiter to a valet driver to the club owner. Right? So when we started building it, I got completely out of money. I didn't have even less than $100 in my bank account. Right? So at that point of time, I said that building a product is not the right way. Let me just service this product. Eventually, it is someone who will be using this product. Why don't I go to the venue, use the product, right? So we built a small MVP and our own stack. We visited the venues and told them, I will solve this problem. Just pay me a service fee. We were running it like an agency because I was lack of funds. The debt was there, and we were paying 18% interest rate of all the capital that we took. So we were running. So from one venue to two venue to 10 to 20, we were completely running it as a service-based business. So we have generated more than $50,000 to $100,000 in revenue, but majority of them is through services.
What was the period of time?
It was in the past 1.5 years.
So over 1.5 years, 50K of revenue?
Yeah, approximately. You could consider that.
And what's your ambition for this year and next year?
So this year we want to digitize the entire south of India, which consists of 3+ cities and 6+ tier 2 cities. And in the next 2 years, we want to capture entire India in terms of tier 1 cities. And in the next 5 to 10 years, we want to be the AWS, or you could consider the Shopify for any online ticketing, as well as these alcohol industries are considered.
And in terms of revenue, what will be that translating into for current plus 2 years?
So for current 2 years, it would be approximately $5 million.
Approximately?
$5 million.
That's in which year? Like next year?
Year 2. In the end of year 2, where we capture entire. That is our modest way of putting it. We could put more, but we are saying it will be very modest in our saying that we would capture maybe 5% of the market. That is even not from the TAM, but also from the SAM and from, we'll put it as 5.
And 3, you see that quite realistic, going from 50K over 1 year plus to 5 million in 2 years? You see that trend?
100%, because we have never spent a single rupee or a dollar in outbound. Everything that we have received was inbound and organic. Everyone that I pitched to or took feedbacks to build the product came back as a client. So we have never spent a single rupee in terms of outbound or marketing or reaching out. It was all inbound. To put it as a live example, we provide an amazing experience to a large venue where they had 5,000 plus seating capacity. Venue owners who visited that venue looked at our service and said, if you ever want to provide this kind of service, please come to us, and they converted into clients. So we have never spent
I get that. I get that you're building it from ground up. You're doing a lot of effort for them to use the product and pay you after they use it. And because of that, you managed to get 50K of revenue over one period, the 1 year period, right? Now, what will bring the 50K to 5 million in 2 years? What are you going to do differently to scale it that much? It cannot be repeating the same thing all over again and then doing this massive jump.
This was tech stack. The problem that we had initially was lack of technology, right? I can get a bunch of people build the technology, but I do not even have enough capital to pay them for their what do you call basic living expenses. They're gonna give their time, but someone has to pay their rent and food, right? So we were in debt. Because of the debt, I didn't have a survival. My survival is dependent on making profit on it, right? We were not focused on scaling, but we were focused on surviving, and we didn't have full tech stack. As of July end, we didn't have a tech stack which is fully done, right? As soon as right now, if in the end of July someone wanted a product, I had to sit in front of a computer, onboard them, right? But as soon as we have a little bit of capital, let's say $10,000, $25,000, where I can deploy it as salaries, not worry about payments, our tech stack will be done. Once our tech stack is done, we could just deploy it as SaaS, right? Even if you want, you're sitting in, let's say you're sitting in Dubai, there's nothing stopping you from installing a software sitting in Dubai. But as of now, when I want you to sit and convert you and visit Dubai, that's not feasible. So the thing which was stopping us as acting as speed breakers in our progress was lack of technology and lack of capital. Capital problem is solved. I can go and raise $50,000, $100,000 from banks in less than 2 days from now. But we don't want to ever go on that debt thing because we were completely debt trapped. So technology of complete automation where without me or anyone from my tech team interacting, they could onboard, use their service completely. And I didn't want to pitch about the AI that we are trying to do because everything is going on AI. But if you're interested, we can tell you everything that we are doing with AI as well.
Well, of course, everyone is doing AI.
That's the reason we have never put in the word AI in our
companies doing AI, so it's becoming so. Sri, back to the point. What's the average revenue you're getting by customer? So today you're having.
So we do not consider a revenue metric, but we only consider as a profit metric. So if so to put it in INR, the thing is that my normal expenses per month on a personal level is around $2,000, right? So when I say I have to net that amount of money to make that, so we only take clients where we say that, hey, this client we can make, let's say $500 in the next 15 days. Let's find more clients to make $2,000. That is how we were running, because we were not seeing them as clients. We were seeing that how can these people give me money to pay my credit card bill at the end of month, and how can I pay my rent and for my food, right? By September, we are no longer that.
Okay, Sri, just for the sake of time, I'll try to conclude here. Just allow the fellow panelists to ask. But when you are sharing with an investor and you want to ask for a certain investment amount, it's important to show the pipeline and why you're reaching that pipeline. So to say that we're going from 50 to 5 million in 2 years without a clear pipeline that, hey, I'm going to target X number of customers and this is how I'm going to recruit these customers, this is how I'm going to get that revenue, it becomes a bit of question mark. Is it doable or not? Because there is no yet proven concept of that I can scale that fast based on what we've done so far. I know it's all in your mind, and sometimes it takes some time to articulate it and build it before you present it. But it's important to see that pipeline and explain and convince the investor how we're going to reach there. Thank you, Sri. I'll stop here.
Right.
Thank you. And if I ever have time, I'll do explain how do we reach from $50,000 to the next $5 million a month that we're trying to hit.
No, we have to move. Yeah, we have to move on to the next panelist now. Sasha?
Right. Okay. Thank you, Ahmed. Yaz, would you like to go next?
Just a couple of quick questions. Thanks, Sri. Just keep it very black and white with your answers. Don't go off on a tangent, but I've got parallel thinking, exactly what Ahmed was just saying, which was the question which I wrote down here, two of them. First one is you're aiming this at towards the nightclub or the night industry, entertainment industry, but yet further in your deck, you said you know it's cross industry, and your business model, essentially, I've seen that in everywhere in hospitality tech, so it's not new. What is so special about your SaaS platform that is specifically for the nighttime industry? Because I couldn't understand it in your deck because the rest of it was just pretty much what's available on the shelf nowadays.
Sure. To put it very specific, the thing about clubs or nightlife venues is that the transaction happens between the consumer. The business is not just linear, or it's not like a D2C. Let's say you have Book My Show or Zomato or Swiggy in India. They act like an aggregators, right? Where they say that we're going to aggregate all of these venues and we're going to charge a commission on every transaction. And
Okay, sorry. Please forgive me. I'm not an expert in the Indian nighttime industry. Is that usually what happens? So there's an aggregator that sits between the person ordering a vodka tonic, and there's an aggregator, and then the business gets the payment. Am I right in that?
so no, that is the experience when you visit inside the venue. There's a whole lot process that goes from the consumer getting into the venue. At least in
Okay, so
India,
you're talking about the entrance fees.
yes.
Okay,
It could
so
be
you're
full
talking
car,
about like a
half car,
reservation
or
system or
yes, perfectly.
right. Okay, fine. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, but again, there's a lot of those systems out there that would cater for that. But my biggest question for you, Sri, I'm very conscious about time, and I know Eleanor wants to jump in. One final question from
It's
me.
okay, it's okay. Just go on. Just go on.
Sure. One question is exactly what Ahmed touched on was that 5 million USD valuation in year two. So I need to know from you is at the moment, what is your average payment from your subscribers per year? And how many do you have?
Okay, give me a second because I have to calculate from INR to USD, or if you're fine with INR, I can just give you
No,
that
no,
number.
do me USD, yeah, please.
Oh yeah, so it would be 8 multiplied by 86, like 90. So you could consider around $250 as a bare minimum fee per month.
250, okay, 250 US dollars per subscriber to your platform per month.
Yes, as a
Roughly.
business owner.
Okay, how many do you have at the moment?
So we worked with more than 50. So it's an average fee. So for example, one of the venue that we worked with on a month that went to almost $3,000. That's a single venue.
Okay, so Sri, and are you by yourself in this company? Are you the 100% shareholder? You're operating?
I'm the 100% shareholder. For legality purposes, we have another person because in India, you need to have at least 2 people.
Okay, so if you want to achieve 5 million turnover in year two, I know you said that you only look at the profit, but unfortunately, that's very nice to look at the profit, but we have to look at turnover because turnover will yield your profit, yeah? Okay, and you can't ignore that. So in terms of your 5 million, if you're doing $250 a month, you're going to need a lot of subscribers to hit 5 million
That's the
turnover.
thing. We have never sold tech, as we were selling it as a service. So it's like we were going there, deploying it and doing it, right? That is why we say 200. So we have venues which paid $3,000 for 15 days of using a tech stack. I'm saying that's a bare minimum fee, but if you consider on average from the highest to lowest, you could consider it around.
Okay, have you done a cost breakdown of your projection? Like how many subscribers would you need? And most importantly, how are you going to attract those subscribers? Because you know, if you want to hit 5 million quid in year two, that is it's ambitious, and kudos to you for going for it, but 5 million pounds in year two is a big number to hit.
To put it in a simple way, 4 people, 0 spend on marketing. We have paid back in 25,000 in net profit.
Marketing, but I'm sorry, but marketing won't generate your 5 million quid. You know, there are other things, other investments you need to do within a business to get that going, mainly because you're a tech based business and you're selling a SaaS platform, it will be more of the sales. Yeah. You know, I mean, marketing, AI bots and all the rest of it can do only so much, but in terms of actually going for that valuation, you know, that valuation and turnover, you would need investment into human resources to
Oh,
sell.
we already received several acquisition offers at 50x, 75x of our ARR in terms of
You've
big
received,
companies.
hang on, sorry. Sorry. You've received an acquisition already based
We have
turnover.
received an acquisition at 50x of our ARR to buy
So
out,
why are you
and
asking?
there
If
was,
you've got that, so why are you asking for 100,000 USD?
because I'm not interested in selling. Neither, if I ask you for $1 million, you're gonna ask me for half of my company. So if I ask you for $100,000, you're gonna say what, 5% or 10%. I don't want to dilute much because I know how much we've been building and how much what we're trying to do. So
Right.
there's no
Okay.
point in selling for a
Okay, fine. You know,
valuation in this
honestly,
startup.
I think, look, I think maybe your model, just a little advice from me, but maybe your model just needs to be a little bit refined, like to find that niche and a specific. But also, I think your numbers need to be really well projected. And I think you need to really know at top of your head, you know, what your subscriber level is, you know, your subscriber count is, you know, your turnover, your conversions, all the rest of it. I think get that all done, and then you'll be in a position where, you know, potentially you may get some serious investment. But you know, I can't further comment on this because I don't know the Indian night economy as such. But thank you for your time and wish you luck, Sri. Thank you, Sasha.
Great.
So
Thank you.
thank you for the feedback.
Yes, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I know you know Elaine already. So, but what's good is we'll just wrap up quickly now. I think Jamal's going to go through some events we've got coming up, and then we'll open up the networking rooms, the breakout rooms. So hopefully we've got all the panelists and all the startups staying on. And if anyone else in the audience wants to speak to them, obviously you can as well. And if anyone wants any introductions, either Jamal or I can help you as well. So do you want to do the wrap up, Jamal?
Yeah, sure. 1 second. I was just trying to take everyone off spotlight. 1 second. Just doing that. And Lena, sorry, we didn't have time for you there. Well, hopefully you have some questions in the networking time for Shri. Just keeping you on spotlight, Sasha. Yeah. But thanks everyone for staying on to the end. Now, quick wrap up of the 4 startups we had today presenting. We had Seda Barak from Seda's Kitchen. We had Christopher Anderson from Joy of Wine. We had Ashish Sharma from Orderific and Shri Tej from Club in Fun just now. Thanks to the panelists. Ahmed, sorry for the misspelling on the post-it there. So Ahmed, Elena, Ravi, and Yaz. Thank you very much. Ravi sadly dropped off with some connection issues during the 3rd pitch. Now we're just gonna run through very quickly the upcoming events in October. We've got a really incredibly busy month. Lots of in-person events in Dubai. Also some online events coming up. So first, we've got Sasha running a food hack meetup in Dubai with the title Beyond Calories: How UAE Meal Plans are Evolving. That's on the 7th of October. In the evening in person. Then we've got 2 drinks events this month coming up. We've got a healthy drinks edition on the 16th of October. So that will include that'll actually largely be that'll be a non-alcoholic drinks event actually, with both no alcohol industry, fruit juices, and more. Then we're going to have Food Tech Pitch Lounge in the middle of the month, followed by some more meetups in Dubai in person. The Foodpreneur Collective Hospitality Networking comes back again on the 29th of October. And then we'll be finishing up the month with that'll be in the morning. And we'll be finishing up that same evening with a beverage pitch lounge, again, live streamed event. We've also got a really fantastic event with the Singapore Management University taking place in Dubai. That's to be confirmed in the last 24 hours with Sasha, and that will be taking place at the end of the month on the 31st. And that's a chance for startups in Dubai to pitch in person to 16 plus investors and others from Singapore. So if you're interested in that, We're looking for a range of startups across the AgTech, hospitality, food and beverage, CPG, and even some body marketing agencies and product registration companies. So if you're interested in that opportunity, please reach out to Sasha or me. That's concluding October events. We've also got it hit my newsletter today, the big announcement that we're helping the Meals Collective from the UK, a very successful series of sustainability focused events where they have panels, food marketplace, a curated menu, and even pitching. We're helping them expand to the UAE. They're going to have their first event with us on the 18th of November at one of our regular venues at the DWTC at Central. And if you want to be involved, you want to attend, you want to exhibit, or you want to sponsor, please again, reach out to Sasha and I, and we can give you some more information on that. Or we'll send you, check out on our newsletter that might have arrived in your inbox. Next, also, I'm just putting a link in the chat actually where you can subscribe to the newsletter for Pitch Lounge or access that edition. It should be up there by this evening. But if you subscribe, then you'll be receiving them regularly. If you want to be a panelist at our future events, you can apply on our website, pitchlounge.net/panelists. Not all our panelists are investors. Most of them are investors on this investor demo format that we had today. But we do also have feedback coaching events where we have different channel partners, communication specialists, and also pitch coaches joining us. So we do usually early in the month, we have a more feedback guidance orientated version. Next. And that concludes today's event. Thank you. We're now going to open the breakout rooms in the next minute. If you're not used to breakout rooms, you can always ask us to put you in a room of your choice. There are 4 rooms I'm about to open, and they're all named with the founder's name and company. And you can actually manually choose your own by going to the end of the navigation menu, tools menu, going to the 3 dots or more, and then you'll find the breakout room option. You're very welcome, Loretta. Thanks for everyone for joining. I'm going to turn off the live stream now. And